All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here. We're live. We're taking your questions. So if you got them, get them in the chat box wherever it appears on your device. I'm going to try to answer them. Super Chat's get a spin of the wheel. I might give a snowboard away. I might give two. I might even give away three. I don't know. I got a stack of boards there. I got a stack of boards there that I need to get rid of. Hell, I've even got a stack of boards over there that I got to get rid of. So we're going to see where things go today. Anyways, do you need an Orca? We'll dive into that topic a little bit later. Sorry for no top 5 this week. Basically had some camera issues, trying to work through that, get that fixed. Looks like it's working, so we'll get that up and running. But I will have a bonus video tomorrow. I'm going to do trash binding video for you guys, so we'll get that taken care of and whatnot for you. Hopefully you've been enjoying the reviews as well. So we got that, but yes. Okay. All right. Let's get some questions, hopefully. All right. Okay. Anthony Hawking. I am looking for an aquatic creature themed snowboard, preferably in a black and white color scheme. What would you suggest? Black and white color scheme? Well, you see, last year, I believe it was last year, Niche Snowboards did a Cthulhu themed board with black and white graphics on. I think it was on the story, maybe. That might be the way to go. I think that's a really good option for you there. So, okay. Gingerboard Man V2 bought into the hype and got a 2020 Orca, $650 lesson that money can't buy good technique. Oof, ouch. That's a hard one. Well, don't hesitate to fill out on the poll that we've got going on in the chat box over there for you. Okay. We got Sam Elms. What would be the most notable difference between a 2023, a yes, pick your line DCP, and the 23 Black Snowboard Death? The shape, the taper, the side cut on it, the flex pattern, and the camber profile are all completely different. Like the DCP on ink will be better in POW. It's not going to be as aggressive of a carver as the Black Snowboard of Death. The Cam Rocker has a different engagement for how you get pop out of it compared to the camber profile in the Black Snowboard of Death. So yeah, there's that. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. We got Skipper looking into the Rome Cleaver or the DoD bindings. I use the Ride Insano boots, size 10. I like all mountain riding, very little park. If you're trying to match the flex of the boot to the binding, that's where the Cleaver really comes in. If you're more on a budget, that's where the DoD would come in. Personally, being in an Insano, I'd probably put you on the Cleaver if you wanted stiff on stiff. Okay, Malin Roberts, would you ride top of the mountain to the bottom naked apart from a backpack with backpack speakers playing Justin Bieber for $10,000? Why do I need backpack speakers and $10,000 in Justin Bieber? I'd do it for free. Okay. Tank E, did you get to review the new Atlas bindings? I did not. The forward lean dial looks like it might get manipulated when carving heel side in the powder. You would have to be like laying sideways at that point. On top of the fact you're in powder. Okay, we got a super chat from our boy Dan K. Bring back pipe jerseys. How's the pup? Yeah. If I could source good pipe jerseys, I would, and we'd bring them back for Angry. Pup's in the other room playing with toys, trying to get snacks out of it right now. After I'm done here today, I got to take her out and throw the ball around for like a half hour. Spin again. Huff Snow Carney farts. Okay. Okay, where are we? Let's get some more questions here. Yeah, so we got about 100 people in here. You just get in here. Get your questions in that chat box. I'm going to try to answer it. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. We got stacks of boards all over the place, so something's probably getting given away because I've got to start cleaning shit out. Okay, Waco, got a question for you. I'm left-handed, blue-eyed, superior-footed, long-necked European. If you could design another all-mountain rapper, would you do magnet traction or a perfect K2 edge? Perfect K2 edge all day. Dan DeMarzo, ride peace seeker. Is it really all that with a fat bag of chips? How to size when the go-to powder board mind expander is a 58? Well, you got to size it off your weight, but look at it this way. At 200 pounds, I rode the 151, and I would not want to have gone bigger at all in that thing. So, you know, that's how it is. But yes, that board is totally worth it. Ryan Error, how many points do you get going top to bottom naked? You don't get points, but you get a citation to show up in court. Then you get put on a list, and then you're not allowed within 500 feet of children's schools or ski schools. Okay. Elvar Carmona. In the R snowboarding subreddit, there are two types of people. One, kook fans, and two, angry snowboarder enjoyers. I don't fucking go in there. That's the wild west of stupidity. Okay, Jonathan Kosian. I found myself down a weird skateboard nostalgia rabbit hole and didn't know shorties made snowboards, guessing they were not that great. I remember World Industries made snowboards but never rode them. The World Industry boards were trash. The shorties were actually better. Those World Industry boards were just such fucking garbage back in the day. And I think it's funny that people are trying to ride them now. And they're like, these things are sick. And I'm like, yeah, because it took 20 years for the fucking epoxy to cure in there to make them stiff. Like, I worked in a shop that sold them once, and we'd had to warranty them all the time because they would just separate. But the shorties boards were solid. So, all right. Okay, let's see. Our boy Iron Tit. Hey, I mean the data as an interim progressing into advanced. I wonder what your thoughts are about that board. I lack skill and knowledge of boards in general to assess if it's good for me progressing. I'm pretty sure that that's just a slightly volume shifted twin. I've never ridden it, but I mean, if you're just progressing, I'd say you're probably fine on it. Okay, we got Adnan Fazlik. It's been a minute since I've dropped in. Thanks for the Italian Astro full wrap recommendation for the old 2021 Mercury. Dude, glad I could help. The actual review for everyone on YouTube will I'll get to editing that in another week or so. I got to edit 20 binding reviews, and I'm about to finish all the board reviews. I've got 12 left to edit. Ollie slow signs, people. Ollie slow signs. Okay, Aaron Burrell. If you could only have one board, all mountain freestyle, West Coast Rider, Mammoth, and Big Bear, sadly. Shadowban. Ride Shadowban would be my go-to. Carson Monroe, you going to have the chance to get on the Karua Pocket Rocket? I don't know if my local shop is going to have a demo of that or not. And I also don't know if the Karua boys will have one in their demo fleet when they come back this year. If they do, I'm going to grab one from either the shop or that. That's one I really want to ride. Speaking of Karua, and I know we're talking Amplid here too, for anyone that's interested, I've got a partnership, an affiliate partnership with a shop called In Flight out of Seal Beach, California. They are the only North American online dealer of Amplid that isn't like demo stuff, because I know Dean over at the Splitboard shop also sells off Amplid demos, but they are the only online dealer in North America for it. So there's that going on with that. And I talked with them yesterday. They have 62 Karuas coming in. So that is a huge fleet of Karuas. So I do have a link in the description of all the videos right now. I'm working on that. I think it's like, if you look at the list of dealers that you can buy it from, I think they're number 12 on there. But yeah, so you'll for anyone that's actually looking for Amplids in North America, they're the only ones that have that. And then if you're looking for a wide selection of Karuas, they ordered 62. They just haven't updated their website yet. Item 9. Hey, Avran, help me convince my sheltered friends to ride traditional camber. Simple. Tell them that they look like shit when they make a turn. Naaman Shenis Shara. How long have you been snowboarding for? You've got such a wealth of knowledge. 26 years now? Gonna be 40. Yeah, this will be my 26th season coming up. Ollie Brown, hey man, what lift passes are you getting this year? I've got an A Basin season pass and an Icon season pass and a copper parking pass because I like parking next to the chairlift. Fucking thing cost almost as much as my A Basin pass. Okay. Aaron Burrell, is there a best brand of P-Tex? I don't really think there's a best brand, but I prefer to grab Swix. Just they've been in the game a long time, so that's always a good one to do there. So yeah. Deuce just picked up some Union Atlases. Should I've gotten the Atlas Pros, or are those mainly for border cross people? I haven't ridden the Atlas Pro yet. I'm hoping to get on it in November. When I reached out to Union, they just didn't have anything available. So I'm hoping my friend Dylan, that's the sub rep, will have them in this demo fleet so I can grab them. But unless you need something super stiff, you're probably fine with just that Atlas. Okay, Waco. Hoping to see Half Mullet Man, a.k.a. Kevin, back on the Black Friday stream. Or did Cavi, or what's his name, make a skin suit out of him? Last time I talked to Kevin, so I was like a month or so ago, we were planning something for Black Friday. So I think that's going to be doable again, that he'll come in for one live stream for like an hour or so, hour or two, and answer some questions. So we're going to do that. I'm also trying to get some other guests for the Black Friday live stream-a-thon. I'm also working on some cool promotions with local shops in different areas. So I got to reach out to more of them to try to do that. But we're going to try to blow up the Black Friday live stream-a-thon. I think last year between the Shred Foundation giveaway and the boards I gave away, I think we gave away something like 12 or 14 boards that day, somewhere in that range. So I want to try to beat that this year, or at least do a lot more cool projects. So yeah. All right. We got Cole Hall. Bench warmer or national for all mountain freestyle. I like the idea of the ASIM side cut, but the national seems a bit more well-rounded. I have a service dog to pair with it. Cheers, Angry. So the national is more well-rounded than the bench warmer. The bench warmer is more like a high-end twin freestyle board that you could ride all mountain with. Personally, I prefer the way the disengagement of the pop is on the national. It just seems to give you like a little more spring at the last minute compared to the bench warmer, which I find is better if you're like ollieing a roller in that. Whereas the pop on the bench warmer is more consistent just to its true twin nature. The other thing is I think the bench warmer breaks in a little bit less than the national does right away. So it takes longer to break it in. So if you're looking for a board that's going to retain its snap longer, then you go with the bench warmer. But if you're looking for something that feels like a board you've ridden 100 days, you go with the national because it's going to break in a little bit sooner. Okay. Malin Roberts, K2 warranty. Ever had to use it? How'd they behave? K2 Thraxis related. So I'm in a different program when it comes to warranties than most people because I have friends that work for the company. So for me, my Thraxises were actually supposed to get warranted this year because I blew the housing out. They told me I could probably warranty them. I'm not even going to bother because it just seems like a fucking waste of time for me. because I already bought replacements. But I know back in the day, there used to be this woman, I think her name was like Cindy or something. I used to deal with her. This is way back in the day. But you'd call up and she'd be like, warranty, this is Cindy. I mean, she sounded like she just had a cigarette. I mean, I picture Selma Diamond from Night Court season 1 and 2, like the bailiff, like cigarette hanging out her mouth, little like troll looking woman being like, what you need, toots? Oh, yeah, we can totally warranty that. You just do that. Get that in there for me. Thanks. I'm going to go smoke some Pall Malls. But, I think just be courteous when you go into the warranty process, and understand, let them try to understand the situation. Give them more information than less. The more you can give it and explain to it, the better your chances are. So, all right. We got a super chat from Sierra Bingham. Looking forward to some videos for the ladies. Working on it. Kind of had to fall behind this week. Had some camera issues and stuff. But there should be top 5 videos for women, and that'll be a Sunday feature thing. That'll be in the afternoon, evening for that. I'm still working on that. That looks like it's going to be somewhere between 10 and 12 videos just for that. So, but I want to get that dialed in. Subscribe or else, people. All right. Brandon, did you see the Australian brown ribbon of death? No, I don't. I don't look at brown ribbons of death. Spin again. Ooh, you won a wiener. Okay. KL, are you going to review the Yes Pick Your Line DCP on ink? Yes, I am. Oh, Jesus. Where were we? Brandon Adkins with a super chat. Stoked about my Salmon Craft K2 Passport review. Sounded like a top board for the season. Well, I mean, kind of was in the top 5s for all mountain free ride. That board's super good. Super good. Remember to ollie slow signs, people. Ugh. Ted G, hey man, comparable boards to the Burton process, thanks. So that would be like your Signal Park Pro would be kind of comparable to that. Solomon Huck Knife to an extent. The Nidecker Sensor Plus. Let's see what else probably put in there. Kind of the Yes Jackpot, kind of the Rome Agent. They're all kind of still in that same realm. All right. All right, let's take some of these super chats. My knees cheese. Beaver Creek is the worst strip club I've ever been to. Sit on it and spin it to win it. Win yourself a medium sticker pack, sir. All you have to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com with your mailing address, and I will get that in the mail to you. Anyone that won on Sunday night's live stream, I haven't mailed anything out yet, but that should go out tomorrow. All right. Longtime fan of the site and purveyor of making awesome cookies. Hello, snowboarders of the internet. Just got my K2 Passport. I like the color. You said comparable boards to the Captain Navigator and the Bank Country. How are they different? Bank Country is more back foot dominant than it. They sit in the same realm, but if you're like really railing hard through a turn, you're going to feel it more back foot dominant in the Bank Country. The Navigator, in terms of flex, is the same, but the Papa is better on the Passport. Although I do think the overall float on the Navigator is better just with that shape. It kind of just cuts through snow a little bit easier. Those would be some of the main differences. The other one would be that progressive magnet traction on the GNU. So it's got a more mellow mag that gets more aggressive as it goes to the back. Plus, the C3 on that is actually a set back camber. So it's almost like you have rocker in the nose, except it's flat. So that does change the dynamic. And then when you get into construction methods, the most damp board would be the Bank Country. Second most would be the Passport. And then the most lively would be the Navigator. Hopefully that answers all your questions, ma'am. Oh, won yourself a jumbo sticker pack. You know how to get it. Just email me that address, tell me you want this, and we're good to go. Danny Garcia, I have last year's Capita Mega Merc, but the new Yes DCP Pick Your Line has me super intrigued. It may be a little bit of overlap, but wanted your thoughts on the DCP before it's sold out. The DCP is going to be a little bit better in POW than the Mega Merc, just with that shaping on it. And then the grip is going to be different just because of the way that they do. Yes does their side cut with that underbite. I think it's underbite. Yeah. Underbite on there. So how that's actually going to grip. In terms of float, I think the DCP actually has better float in POW than the Mega Merc. The difference is the Mega Merc is going to be like a little more freestyle focused. It's going to be a little more lively, and I think it has slightly better pop to it. Anthony Hockey. Notice Casey has been out at Big Snow a few days lately. Zeb was out there recently. Are they doing paid influencer spots? They probably should be. They might be. I doubt that they actually are because Big Snow is run by my friend. Marketing is run by my friend Pat Morgan. Pat knows everyone, and he knows how to get people in to do photo shoots and do everything. You know who else is at Big Snow? Jimmy motherfucking Fuckhouse is there right now, hiking in on their 400 vertical, leaving his board in the way. People are sending me videos of them screaming at him from the chairlift. I mean, it's New Jersey. I want someone to take a squid in there and throw it at him. Like, it's possible. I mean, if they can do it at a hockey game, I think it'd be even more hilarious for someone to get video of them hitting Jonathan Buckhouse with a fucking squid at Big Snow. That would make my day. I'd also probably get yelled at by my friend Pat, but it would be absolutely, it would be a moment in the history of snowboarding, and it would be the most amazing thing ever in it. But I love all the videos of people heckling him and throwing shit at him and telling him how much he sucks. So yeah, but good old Big Snow. All right, Anthony, let's give you a spin here. Oof. Wiener. All right. Ave, any chance for a Mega Merc 23 review? I asked for it. They didn't have it. There's still a chance I might be able to get one in November. Okay, lazy guess. Is there a lot of overlap between the Solomon Dancehall and the Amplid Spray Tray? Love the Dancehall, but I'm interested in trying an Amplid. My other boards are a Psycho Candy, Distortia, and Gypsy. Thanks. So the Spray Tray is going to have overlap between your Psycho Candy and your Dancehall. It's more powder focused than the Dancehall, and it's kind of like with the camber profile and it rides more like the Psycho Candy, but it's softer. So it's closer in terms of flex to the Dancehall than the Psycho Candy. I know you want to try an Amplid, but I think right now you've got too many boards that overlap it. I'd say wait on that. It just seems counterintuitive to be like, oh, I need another board that literally you've got two that sit in the same category. All right. We got Jason Smith with the super chat here. Where'd that go? I'm an East Coast rider, 175 pounds, size 9.5. I have an extra finger on my left hand. What size Yes Greats would you recommend? Biggest jumps in my area are Big Boulder and Seven Springs. Big Boulder still has jumps. I thought Vail bulldozed that shit. At 175 pounds, you probably you can go to the 153, but realistically, I would say since you're going more for the biggest jumps you can, or bigger jumps, the 56, and that'll give you all mountain versatility. It'll also give you a little more effective edge to dig in on those icy conditions. You're kind of like in between it. So if you want something more playful, go to the 53. If you want something that's going to be a little more stable and still be able to charge, that's where the 56 comes in. Pray to the altar of snowboarding. All right. We got Ayadol with the super chat. My twin board, Yes Jackpot, has a softer nose. Is this due to riding most of the regular, or do twin boards also have a softer tip? It's probably because you're pressing more on that and you're engaging it more. It's also because you have a dominant leg and you're putting more weight on that dominant leg in there. But that board should not have a softer nose than tail. It should be equal on both. And then as it breaks in, one will probably get a little softer than the other. Ollie those slow signs, people. Ollie those slow signs. Okay. Lost Logics. My best friend is riding a Y2K Sims board. Oof. He got to try out my Manifest team and loved it. Unfortunately, he's completely broke. Should I buy a passport for him or give him the Manifest team and keep the passport? Here's what I would do, man. You don't want to spoil him too much. So buy yourself the passport, give him the Manifest team, and then you tell him that he's not allowed to sell that board. He can only re-gift it forward to someone else that was in his situation that needs a board. And that way we just create an eternal Stoke on that. So you get a new board, he's getting a new to him board, and down the road, someone's going to get a board that hopefully isn't destroyed. Like, you make sure that he doesn't completely trash it, and they'll be able to get that as well. So. And you won yourself a medium sticker pack, sir. So all you got to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I'll get that in the mail to you. All right. We got Fruit Poop Loops with the super chat. Spin for Slim. Fucking Slimothy. You lose, just like Slim. Okay, we got Juan Gutierrez. Yo, might have the opportunity to get the 2022 Dinosaurs Will Die Parker Duke, but I've never ridden a flat camber board. Can you offer any insight into how that rides? Take your favorite traditional cambered board. Now go ride it at 200 days of riding where it's flattened out and it's lost its camber. Basically, flat camber feels like broken in camber. It still retains a little bit of pop, but it takes a little more effort just when you roll back to snap off the tail to get it up. But it has that consistency of a board you've been on for 100+ days. Ugh. Brad Guy, have you heard of the campaign to rename the mute grab to the Weddle grip? Oh, I've heard it. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you get put in fucking timeout there, nerd. All right. Gonna ask me that stupid ass question. Okay. Garth Pierce, hi Avran. I thought I would let you know that your new reviews are being ad bombed by Rurock. Cheers from the UK. Fuck yeah, they are. Let those motherfuckers pay. Same thing with Donick. They can pay me to shit talk their product. I will take their money. This is a war of attrition. They are spending useless ad dollars on me to target you, to have me tell you not to buy that kooky ass shit. I love every fucking minute of it. I will take their goddamn money while telling you that that shit is garbage. It's a friggin' win-win for all of us. I'm sucking their marketing dry so they're not hiring some stupid influencer and influencing the people of r/snowboarding to buy this shit. We all win. Okay, Milo, always been curious about the snow quality of indoor snow domes. Is it super hard packed or more of a loose granular? It's kind of a mix of both. Like as it gets scraped away, it's like ice chips on the side and then they freeze in these mounds. But when you get there and it's like freshly groomed and stuff, it has that consistency of fresh corduroy that's been rained on and then froze. So you know what you're going to get. You can set an edge in, but it's like crunchy in there. I mean, it's not like natural snow, that's for sure. Okay. All right. We got the Adla team. Best free ride, all mountain for icy northeast conditions. Cars, pops, handled speed well. Go check out the top 5 all mountain freestyle and the top 5 all mountain free ride boards. Those are the 2 categories you need to look at. That's going to give you 10 options between the 2 to figure out, plus 6 bonus options in the honorable mentions. Okay. Noodles, I'm looking at the K2 Passport, and I see that they're 150, 154, and 57, all at the same weight rating. At 5'7", 180 pounds, how different are those boards going to ride for me? 51 will be softer. 54 is the middle ground. 57 will be a little bit stiffer. That's realistically what it is. You go smaller, they go a little bit softer. I rode the 57 at 200 pounds, and it was totally fine. Like, I didn't feel like I was going to buckle it. It was that perfect flex for what it was. If I'd gone to the 54, it would have been a little too soft. And I think if I'd gone up to the next size, it probably would have been a little stiffer than I personally would have liked. But at 180 pounds, I think you can kind of choose between the 54 and the 57, rule out the 51. You don't need to go for that. So the 54, if you're looking for it to be a little more playful, 57, if you want it a little stiffer and a little more charging. Okay, we got Coleman Young with the super chat. Just bought some 23 Cantatas. When adjusting the heel cup and the pivot mount, what markers do you look for to get the sweet spot? Let me grab it. Ugh. So when it comes to the heel cup, so down here, because I'm in the medium large and in a size 10, I just slam that sucker all the way back. That's how it is. As far as like the pivot mount and shit, I just kept it stock because I never have any problems with my instep, so I don't have to worry about it. So if you look at it, like, you can kind of see that it's right in there with everything. And that's how I do everything. I just sort of leave it just stock. I don't rotate my high backs. I don't cant the high back or anything. I just leave it right in there, totally stock. So hopefully that answers that question. Won yourself a set of medium sticker packs there, sir. So all you got to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com. And there you go. All right. Our boy, Jonathan Kosiana. Most solid life advice I can provide. Don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things. George Carlin. God, I miss George Carlin. Fucking cried in Bill and Ted 3 when they showed the hologram of him. Carlin. That man was something else. Whew. Remember to eat at Joe's. I don't know who Joe's is, but you can eat there. Okay. We got a super chat from Silas Girl. I'm currently a beginner and on a flat to rocker board. Should I be looking to a different profile to progress my riding? Right now, that's like the best profile, in my opinion, to learn on because it gives you that stability of flat, but you're going to get a better ease of entry from that rocker, and it teaches you how to balance your weight right where the flat hits that rocker so that way you can learn how to do it. If you're looking to progress to something a little more aggressive, go to a cam rocker over a full camber board. So you're going to get that camber and then into rocker. But you don't want anything with like an aggressive cam rocker with a lot of camber in there. Just a mellow one, because that's going to give you a little rebound underfoot when you're pressing, popping, and when you're driving in through the turn and loading that camber to push off the tail. That's going to be the best. But if you're feeling comfortable and you don't feel like you've outgrown the board you're on, don't look for a new board. Keep riding that one until you feel like it's holding you back. And you'll notice that you'll start to get leg fatigue. You'll start to get more speed and you'll start to feel chatter in the nose. And you're like, hey, this isn't pushing through the snow. This isn't letting me drive the way I want through a carve or pop off anything. And that way you can basically maximize the potential of the board you have on. And then you're ready for something more aggressive, because then you're going to hit that next stage of your progression where there's going to be another learning curve for that different camber profile, that different side cut, and especially how that camber profile and that side cut work together. Pray to the altar of snowboarding, people. Lars EDX, have you ridden the Arbor Satori? I have. I haven't ridden it enough to do a review. I rode it at Loveland. I got like 6 laps on it. Good board. Good board. I really wish that they would send me some more. That would be good. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's take some more questions here. Our moderator, Billy Ray Valentine. Sorry, I can't moderate very well. I am on the phone with a professional snowboarder. Professional. You talking to Jimmy Fuckhouse? Okay, Shane C. picked up a 2022 Spring Break Powder Twin. Also have the 22 Battalion Boss as a park board. Was looking at the Rome Stalefish. Is it worth adding to the collection? If you're looking for something directional that fits between that Spring Break Powder Twin and that Battalion Boss, yes, it makes sense. But if you're just going to ride POW a few times, I would just ride that Spring Break Powder Twin and you'd be fine with it. You know, it's your money, it's your call. D-Low, Passport versus Alchemist. So the Alchemist is stiffer, more aggressive. It has just a gnarlier side cut when you're railing a turn. Like the Passport's more approachable. The Alchemist is like, I want raw fucking power at all times, and that's it. Like that board is A game at all times. The Passport, you can be a little more laid back. Okay. Kate and Guan, if I have the K2 instrument already, should I get the K2 Passport? Probably just save the money and ride more. I think I answered this question in the comments on the video that you left. But yeah, you don't need it. Like if you just need to ride more, unless you need something a little stiffer, there's no reason for it. Okay. Christian Meza, looking at the K2 Passport. What size should I go for? 5'7", 165 pounds, size 7 boots. And I have a missing pinky toe. Damn, dude, missing pinky toe. Crazy. I'd look at the 155. I think that's ideal for you. 51 would probably be too small. All right, super chat from our boy Patrick Einer. Hey, Angry, any books you can recommend where you can learn more about shapes and side cut shears? snowboardmuseum.com or snowboardmuseum.org has the history of snowboards in a book. I don't have it in this room right now. It's about 230, 280 pages. And it's got everything from the 70s to now. And they kind of jump around from brand to brand and they break down stuff in there. But it's, I know on Instagram, it's like at Snowboard Museum or something. And they have a link. I don't know if the book's sold out. I bought one copy of it for myself. But it's a nice, thick, hardcover coffee table book. That would be one that I would look at. Try again. Ouch. Item 9, thoughts on New Mexico mountains and what boards are good for that terrain. I've never ridden in New Mexico. I've only been down there like twice in my life. I want to. So they do get a lot of similar snow like what we get here in Colorado, but their terrain, it's either really flat or really steep. It's kind of in there. Basically, what you just need is a solid, like slightly above middle of the road flexing all mountain free ride board, and you'd be good. All right. Okay. Okay, Luke Desanier. How narrow of a board would you be willing to ride with your size 10s? The narrowest I've ever ridden was a 24 point. No, it was a 24.2. Would I recommend that? No, God, no. That's awful. I think anything under 24.7, it's really not the waist that matters. It's the width at the inserts that really matters. And unfortunately, there's very few brands that put this, like Nidecker does it, Amplit does it, Marhar does it on certain models. But the width at the inserts is more important. Like the waist width thing is kind of bullshit. It's a skier thing. They care about the waist width of a ski because that's right where they fucking mount their fuck stick boots. For us, we're further out. We need to know that. So what I typically do, and this doesn't take into account side cut, you take the tip and tail width. So you take your tip width, you subtract the waist width, divide that number by 2, add that number back to the waist width, and roughly that is what the width is at the center of the insert pack, not accounting for setback, side cut, and other things. It's a rough math right there because I wasn't gonna totally nerd out on geometry because kind of failed math in the 4th grade, and after that I never did anything with it. All right. Okay. All right. All right. We got RB with the super chat. Give him a spin here. Don't lick yellow snow. It's not lemonade. Okay. Rob Tab Half a state. Trying to get hired at a snowboard shop this fall, doing whatever. Any tips on getting in? Yeah. Be willing to do any bullshit job. If you interview with them, tell them, be like, I'm not above fucking mopping the toilet. You know, I'm not above cleaning the grind right and shit like that. You know, be yourself, but just be like, I love snowboarding, and be honest too. Be like, I don't know everything about the brands you sell. I'd like to know. Are there going to be clinics? You know, stuff like that. Be like, I want to learn. But the big thing is the way to sell yourself to them is be like, I know I don't know everything, and I know I might not be the right candidate, but I'm willing to learn, and I love snowboarding. I really want to be immersed in it more. What can I do for you to say, or what could I do if you hired me to facilitate that? You know, let them know that you're actually serious on this. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When you work in a shop, you don't make shit for wages, even if there's a good commission. You don't, unless you really know how to hustle and sell. Like, my best year ever in a shop, the only reason I made any money was I was doing custom boot work. So I was making like an extra $25 an hour if I did custom boot work. Otherwise, you're just not going to make money. But if you're doing it for the love, you can get to a position where you will make money. So that's pretty much the best advice I can give you. All right. My knees are cheese. Keep crapping on Buckhouse. Makes me happy. Just so everyone knows, he's a card-carrying Republican for the Summit County Republican Convention, which is basically run by a dude that is full of QAnon shit. But this dude is the Summit County Republicans are kind of anti-climate change. They're definitely anti women's choice. Stuff to think about if anyone supports him that, you know, like I know there's a lot of women that support him for some reason. Like, you know, he doesn't have his best interests at heart. Also, for being a Republican, shouldn't he have a better work ethic instead of constantly trying to panhandle people and be like, send me super chats, Venmo me money. Like, I need all this money. I don't want to do anything. You know, his work ethic is shit. So, you know, he's kind of a tool. But yeah, food for thought on that, you know, he's basically like QAnon light. Ooh, won yourself some small sticker packs there, sir. You got a medium and a small. You're winning it all today. All right. Okay. Okay, Danny Garcia. Hey, man, been using the Yes Jackpot from a few years ago before they went full camber and a 154. Needs something stiffer for all mountain freestyle daily driver. Thoughts on the Assassin Pro for this? That's going to be a huge jump up in flex. Going from that, the good thing is that still has that cam rocker profile. It's similar to it. The downside is the side cut on the Assassin Pro gets a little wonky on ice and shit like that. So, you know, you got to kind of watch out for that shit. But it is an upgrade. Do you need to go to the Assassin Pro? Probably not. The regular Assassin would probably be enough of a jump for you to do that, and then you wouldn't have to pay, because I think what's the price difference? I think it's like $40 or $80 somewhere in there. All right, we got one here from Tanky. I keep getting targeted ads for Cardiff boards. Are they any good or just a crap piece of plywood? They're made by GP87. They have backing from Black Diamond, so their boards are actually solid. I think their prices are a little high. I have not ridden one, so I can't comment on how they actually ride. All right. We got our boy Brad Hall. Hey, Avran, I'm 6'4", 240, and I have 3 hands. Crazy. I got a Burton Wave Tracer last year and hated it. What would you recommend from boards this year and what size? Well, 240, like I wouldn't go smaller than a 162 personally. I think like you're probably in that 62 to 66 with 64 being the size run. So, you know, it kind of depends what you want for boards, but a lot of stuff's coming in that I would look at like the Ride Berserker, the Capital Black Snowboard to Death, the Jones Flagship, and even the Mountain Twin if you want to go more all mountain freestyle. I know that the Captain Mercury comes in wide now. Let's see what else is in there that would be solid for you. You might like the E-Jackknife because I do believe they make that in a 63 wide. I don't quote me on that. I can't remember. I might be mixing that up with something else in there. The GNU 4x4 might also be another one for you, but I don't know if they make it over a 159. I think they do. I think it does come in a 62 wide. So, anyways, yeah. So that should give you a bunch of options. All right. J-Rez, want to know how Donix rides? Strap 3 4x4s together, same weight, same flex. Probably the 4x4 would glide better. Oof, that's harsh. Okay, let's see. Trying to catch up on everything here. Okay. We got Charles. Would having the Rome Ravine select in the near superposition be too much of an overlap in your quiver? Also, the Rome Cleaver a good binding option for the two? Cleaver's a little overkill for the superposition. If you want full wrap, I would, instead of doing the Cleaver, I'd go look at a Battalion instead. I'd look at like the Blaster or the Astro full wrap in there, kind of see which high back you think would fit you. But comparing the Ravine Select to the superposition, it's a lot of overlap. It just does not make sense. It does not make sense at all. F-Law noticed most Yes boards don't have carbon basalt in their cores, but reviews don't note lack of pop. Are carbon stringers overrated? They're not overrated. They're an added bonus. It's like if you have the right fiberglass and then you have the right camber pressed in there in the right shape, you're going to get good pop. But when you start to add additives like that carbon, that basalt, or if you do like a Rome and you get those rods in there and stuff, it's all added pop. You know, when I'm looking at like a Yes board, and let's just take the Jackpot and compare that to, for Rome, we'll just say the Artifact or even the Artifact Pro. The Romes are going to have more snap in them, and they're both made in the same factory. And that's the difference in there. You're going to notice that. Okay. David Dixon with the super chat. Rewatching Boot Fitting 101. Thank you for the great content. I'm sorry you got to deal with the horrible audio on those. Fuck, the audio on some of those videos is awful. I am working to get those all redone. I am so far out in the weeds. It sucks. I'm trying. Maybe in November. Ooh, don't lick yellow snow. Okay, Lost Logics. What is the story behind the snow carny kids? The stickers are awesome. I coined the term snow carnies to describe the kids that work at the resort, because what's a carny? Someone that comes from some place that doesn't have good means, that operates heavy machinery as they travel from town to town, selling you shitty food and offering you stupid prizes and whatnot. What's a snow carny? Someone that travels from all over that doesn't have good snow to come operate machinery so you can have fun and sell you shitty food. They're snow carnies. It's the same thing. And then being a product of the 80s, I was born in 1982. Shout out to being 40 this year. I loved the Garbage Pail Kids. Not the movie, the actual cards. Loved them. So it was just our take on being able to do something like that. All right, we got Coleman Buchanan. Good supplement for old man joints. So there's two that I take. So I take glucosamine chondroitin with MSM and hyaluronic acid all in one. I take one of those a day. That's good. And then I also take Vital Proteins, collagen peptides. I take 2 of those a day. So as well, but you could take anywhere from 4 to 6 pills of that a day. And that just helps with the synovial fluids in my knees and my joints to keep them lubricated. I mean, I'm falling apart. Noodles. Last year I was riding trees at Copper. When it came out into a mogul field, ended up splitting all the layers of my board trying to ride out the field. Is that a common thing where I should have walked? Dude, you ran into something to split the board. The moguls didn't help because it was just vibrating, but no. So the secret is don't go to the middle of the run. Everyone always wants to go to the middle of the run, and it's like stay to the side. They're wider spaced. It's better for a snowboard, and then you got to practice your jump turns and do it. Plus, if you're by the side, you can dip back into the trees and follow the tree line, and usually the snow's untracked in there. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, Johnny Scott, dope snow. What a bunch of cretins. Understatement, sir. Understatement. Ooh, wiener. Not winner, wiener. Aaron Burrella, any standout park boards this year? Ironically enough, I filmed the top 5 all-around park boards video today. So I was going to edit that and try to get it up later tonight, but I don't think I'm going to. But yes, so I'm still big on the Rome Party mod. The Yes Public Disorder is really good. Or not the Yes, the Public Disorder. Sorry. Yes Jackpot still sticks out as a good all-rounder. The new Headspace is solid. The Signal Park Pro is good as well. There's a lot of really good park boards out there. The Capita Indoor Survival, if you want something beefier, go to the Outsiders. There's so many good park boards these days. I see we got 170 people in here, so if you're just tuning in, you got questions, get them in the chat box. Super Chat's get a spin of the wheel. I got snowboards I'm probably going to give away if someone wins it. So, you know, we got that going on for us here. Eat it, Joe's, people. Eat it, Joe's. All right, we got Treeboro01 with the super chat. Let's give him a spin here. Don't lick yellow snow. Don't do it. Hilux Shred TRD Pro. Do you ever feel like breaking his snowboard on Jonathan's back? I feel like that's a waste of a snowboard. That kid will break his back doing something stupid anyways at some point. Okay, we got Johnny Crook, Quiver, Hyper Kiarv, Yes Hybrid, Mind Expander, Mueller, Ride Pow, and Hike to Pow at Stevens Pass. Anything missing from the Quiver? Yeah, dude. You need like a super deep rocket, like a swallowtail in there. Something for when you're out the backside, especially if you're hiking the power line and whatnot, or if you're even hiking the ridge line off Cowboy. So FYI, I used to live at Stevens. So yeah, I think like just a big swallowtail, something like that. And since you're up in the Northwest, I'd be looking at like that LibTech Retro Ripper, maybe an Endeavor archetype, although you might find that a little too soft. Maybe like a Telos, was it the Caldera this year would be another one to think about. Just something like that, you know, maybe a Moss, just something for wide open pow on that backside. You know, when you're not standing in line for 3 hours because Vail fucking screwed that resort up. Okay. Ave, I own a Capita Black Snowboard to Death 2021 and a Ride Super Pig 2022. I need twin for Switch and freestyle. Any recommendations? Oh, yeah, I got recommendations for you. You want it soft and playful, skate-like, look at a Rome Party mod. If you want camber with it, maybe a Rome Agent would fit the bill for what you're doing, kind of fit you right in the middle of that. I would look at the Yes Jackpot kind of fits in there as something else, or maybe the basic on ink Romaine, Roman, that would be a really good one. Let's see. If you're looking at, since you've got a super pig, if you looked at Ride, you can go between the bench warmer and the zero, with the zero being a little softer flex, the bench warmer being probably a little bit closer in flex, somewhere between your Black Snowboard to Death and your super pig in there. If you're on a budget, you could do the Rosinal Jigsaw because there's always last year's that they're blowing out for crazy, although they raised the price on it like $70 this year, which is ridiculous in there. If you want 3BT, the Battalion Evil Twin, and I think, oh, hell with it. And we'll throw the K2 Medium in there. And if you want something with a slight volume shift because you're used to that with your Super Pig, the K2 Bottle Rocket. So, yeah. Okay. Piff, any recommendations for Ice Coast All Mountain Board? Been on Rome tour for the past 5 years. So I would go check out my top 5 All Mountain Freestyle boards and my top 5 All Mountain Freeride board list. It's in the top 5 list. They just recently came out in the last few weeks. There'll be options in there for both of you. I think do that, find 2 you like, and then if you can't decide, leave a question in those comments and I'll answer it there. Fruit Poop Loops, did the simulator get dropped because of poor marketing or waist width too narrow? I'm going with poor marketing because they could have added a wide and it would have sold. Okay. Okay, Dan DeMarza, one powder board, one carver board. Which two are you going with? Okay, so for powder board, I would go with an Endeavor archetype, but that's me personally. And for carver, that without question goes to the Ride Peace Seeker. But if you want other powder board options, I'd look at like that Capita Navigator. That's a really good one. I really, really dug that. Let's see. You could go with a LibTech Orca, like everyone else out in the world, which you probably don't actually need that, joking aside. Good board, but it's not for everyone. I would also look at like a Rome Ravine Select as well. Ugh. All right. Fruit Poop Loops, best tacos. So the best tacos in Summit County was Mahi's Street Tacos at Copper, and Copper closed it down. Fucking sucked. They had the best shiitake mushroom vegetarian taco. I'm not even a vegetarian, but I would order like 6 of those and then like 1 chicken. They were so good. But otherwise, I go to Sancho's. I get the fried chicken. The chicken tinga is good as well. The El Pastor is good. There's Wahican Bites on Main Street. They don't really do. They do tacos, but I personally get the burrito because it's $12 and it weighs like 1.5 pounds. It's a hell of a lot of food. Fucking amazing. But don't get the quesadilla there. It's trash. Pray to the altar of snowboarding. Okay, lazy guess. Footprint Game Changer insoles, reputable or hype? I haven't used them. Every time I've tried them on, I'm like, yeah, these don't fit my foot shape. But I do believe that they make a product that's solid. It's just not something that, like, personally I'm using. So eventually my goal is I'm going to buy every snowboard footbed from every brand and then do comparisons. Like, I've already done one for Remind. I'd like to do one for others. I mean, if it fits your foot, fits your needs, you think it's going to work, do it. It's an easy investment, and you'll know right away within a couple days if it doesn't work for you. So, oof, you lose. Okay, Mitch of Ventura, 165 pounds, 10 boot. Have all 10 of my fingers. Which size box knife do you recommend? At 165 pounds on the box knife, and you're looking for more freestyle on that, probably go with the 51, all honesty. Also, hopefully you got that shirt that you won a couple live streams ago. I know they sent it out. I think they've sent it out at least. I haven't double checked on that. Wiener. All right. Okay, we got Buck Choi. 140 pounds, size 10.5 boots. Man, that's a weird proportion. Am I doomed to forever ride short fats? DC boots fit me best, and they tend to run half size small. No, kind of short fats. I mean, so one board you should be looking at, I would go look at like that K2 Bottle Rocket because it's what we call like a medium volume shift, and it's a true twin. So, and you could get at 140 pounds, you could get away with the 48 on that and be totally, totally fine. Ooh, support the Shred Foundation. Okay, item 9. When do we get a how to make pocket bacon video? Oh, I don't know. I don't really want to show off my kitchen. It's kind of haggard. Spray skiers. This is a funny one from Charlie B. Bunkhouse would be nothing without YouTube, period. Comedy, how he gets so butthurt about not being a pro. There's a man that lost his, like, if he ever had the dream of being pro, he never did anything to make it happen. It's just a man, like, dude, I don't have a problem. Be a professional vlogger. Go make shitty ass vlogs, but stop telling people you're pro and stop giving people shitty advice and stop pushing shitty ass product that doesn't help snowboarding. Lost Logics. Have you ridden any Alien boards? Probably not since like the 90s, maybe the early 2000s. Okay. Treeboro01, hey Avran, what would be some good bindings for the 2020 Orca? So if you wanted a little more surfy and slashy, the K2 Lean AT, the Union Strata, and I would even do like a Ride C4 or like a bent metal joint, something with a soft high back. If you want a little bit more performance out of it, you bump up to the C6 from Ride. You stick with that Strata still on the Union, but K2, you go to the Formula. And I'd also throw the Rome Vice out there as well. Steve Black, it seems like every year there's something new in camber technology. Do you see a ceiling where they've tried everything or it will always evolve? So for years, all we had was traditional camber, right? And then they started experimenting with more like a setback camber and stuff. And then the Skate Banana came out and the K2 Gyrator came out. And that was a flat to rocker in the Gyrator, full reverse in the Skate Banana. And then Never Summer started doing their RC tech. Then we got C2, we got C2X, we got, camber humps. We got all this weird shit going on. And then, we got camber 2.0, we got cam rocker, we got everything. And then we started to come back to traditional camber. Right now, realistically, in terms of camber profiles, the only one that's doing anything that's innovative, and I use that term loosely, is Never Summer, and they just keep throwing more fucking camber zones. So, you get the lasagna profile, so it's just like all the way across. And that's not what you need to do. We had to leave traditional camber to invent all this other stuff to redefine traditional camber and make it better. And that's what we've done. And so it's a refinement process. And right now, camber's dominant. In 10 years, who knows where we're going to be? Maybe we'll be back to reverse, flat to rockers. Who knows? But the fact that when I started snowboarding, you had one option. And today, you've got a magnitude of options. Just that multitude of choices for you to make right there is such a big difference of everything. So, it's great. Okay, we got F-Law with the super chat. Outside of Nerd Snowboards, most underrated brand. So there's a few that I feel are underrated. Dinosaurs Will Die, super underrated. Amplid is starting to get more notice, but they're still kind of underrated in there. Signal has this weird thing where they kind of like go through phases, but they're still underrated. Like I got out of everything I rode this year, I didn't, other than the Womp Eater and the Tail Gunner, the Womp Eater was just like whatever. Tail Gunner, if they would just move the insert packs a little more forward so it didn't have as much setback, that board would be phenomenal. There's a lot of little brands out there if you start looking around and seeing what people are doing, like little garage shapers and stuff. And I always hope that they'll either end up getting acquired by a bigger company or they'll make it a little bit bigger in it. But, when you start to venture outside the mainstream, there's always little brands. Like I get approached by little brands. I have to choose whether I'm going to give them the time and expose you guys to them or not. And there's brands where I'm like, no, you're not ready for it. Or I'm like, yes, let's do it. Like, what was it? 2 years ago, I rode those West snowboards, open mold Tunisian boards. Like, and I was so hyped on their marketing. I was so hyped to get on them, and everything fucking disappointed. Everything. And then I talked to a friend from the Midwest that was looking into repping them, and he rode them all, and he was like, dude, I saw your reviews after I wrote them, and I was like, wow, Avran even realized that they were the same. And it was such a sad thing to see it that way because I felt like that brand just had so much more potential. Ooh, pick a random question for a spin. Okay, we got Matthew Macheezer. Hey, mate, finding my feet are cramping after a couple hours of riding. Is that just my boots not being broken in yet, or do I need to get insoles with better arch support? Yes. So it could be boots not broken in. It could be lack of arch support. It could be muscle fatigue. It could be dehydration setting in. It could be a lack of potassium. It could be that you've broken your feet and you didn't tell me that, and I don't know what's going on. It could be that you're into Japanese foot binding torture porn, and you've done that to your foot. There's so many possibilities right there. But to start everything off, you should always replace the stock insole in the boot with something aftermarket that gives you more arch support. Heat mold the liner as well, and make sure you're in a good shape before you go out and ride. Round is a shape. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a good one when you're going snowboarding. in there. So if you're not used to using those muscles and stuff, and as you lead up into the season and before it starts, put your boots on, walk around the house, leave them on when you're watching TV. Just leave them on for a couple hours at a time so your foot gets used to being constricted. I spend more time in a snowboard boot than I do shoes. So it's weird when I get into shoes, my feet will cramp. But when I get into a snowboard boot, I never have that problem. And you got to spin. Spray skiers, people. Luke Desanier, hangry. My 6-year-old wants to know if you've ever done a backflip. Backflips are just 360s that are inverted. Yes, I've done backflips. I haven't done a backflip in 12 years. And the last time I did it was Peak 7. Before they did the expansion to Peak 6 at Breckenridge. So that ought to tell you how long ago that was. And it was in Ore Bucket. And we built a step down, like a jump about maybe yay wide. And it was on a step down. And I had to guinea pig it. My goggles had fogged. I had pulled a muscle in my neck. And basically, Steve Fisher had rolled up with his then girlfriend. Now it's his wife. Was like, I'm going to hit it. And I was like, fuck you are. We did all the work. Why the fuck do you get to hit it first? Got into a pissing match with him. And so finally I hiked up and I did a laid out lawn dart backflip and I got it around. And as I came around, there was a tree and I hit the tree and basically the toe edge hit. It was like under the snow. So I hit it and I just went right between my legs and that was it. And that was the last backflip I did. And now with all the concussions and stuff, going inverted, just my spatial awareness gets all sorts of fucked up. Okay. All right, we got one here from Stress Type 4. With mini discs, is it possible to center the discs middle over the inserts when I turn them by 90 degrees using only 3 screws? 2 heel side, 1 toe side where through the channel system hole. Bad idea? No, I mean, you can do it. Like, play around with it and how you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. You just understand you're going to be putting, like with that offset screw, because you're doing that, it's going to put more stress on that insert. If you look at the base of the board, you'll notice that it's starting to pull up. So if you flip the board over, there's a recess in there. And not all boards will do that, but you can start to see that in there. But there's nothing wrong with playing around with that. I wish more people would take that initiative and just be like, fuck it. It's 4 screws, 2 screws, whatever. It's a screwdriver. I'm going to play around, tweak stuff, work on things. So I think you're good by doing that. Okay. Brian B. Avran, I'm looking at a Capita Pathfinder reverse for an easy resort butterboard. Any other boards I should look at? Yeah. Look at the Telos Adit, the K2 Geometric. Let's see. That might be a little too stiff. The Battalion Wally, the Nidecker Sensor, and you could even bump up to the Battalion Disaster as well. So that should give you a few options right there. All right. Okay, Brandon, would the Ride Cycle Candy be too much board for a beginner girl? Other boards, 115-pound size 9 boot. Thanks. Spin to win. Let's go. Yeah, that's too much board. What is that? I can't think of the name of the board. Ride changed the name of it, but yeah, that's too much board for a beginner girl to get on. What you really ideally want is like a flat to rocker. So I'd look at the Rome Heist. You could do the Battalion Distortia or even the Feel Better. I think the Feel Better is the better option. The Capita Paradise, the Arbor. Is it the Swoon or the Paparazzi? I think it's the Swoon. Might not be the Swoon. Might be the Paparazzi, but it's whatever the Arbor one is. But the rocker one with full reverse in the center, that would be good. The Be Nice from GNU. I think it's Be Nice is like the softer one as well. So I'm working on my top 5 list for all the women's boards right now. All right, Huff Snow Carney Farts. RJ Gold, the real question is, where was Buckhouse on January 6th? Probably sitting around crying. Biting his pillow. Subscribe or else, people. Okay. Drained. Would a K2 passport have too much overlap with a Mercury? Yeah, they kind of sit in the same realm. It's a little more free ride oriented than the regular Mercury, but yeah, you don't want to. T Turtle 11 Hangry. Any recommendations for board shops in the South Lake Tahoe area? And thanks for the shred ahead recommendation. Fuck. I don't even know what's in South Lake anymore. I haven't been there in probably 10 plus years. I honestly don't even know what's there anymore. Dominic Jacobino, difference between the Rome Vice and DOD. I know the Vice has ASIM and the DOD is full rep. Do they ride that much difference? The DOD will have more power on the outside towards the nose and tail of the board. You're going to notice that. So that's really the big difference between the two, is that it gives you more downward pressure and drive into the board. That's really it. Justin G, Better Carver, Capita Outsiders, or LibTech Dynamo? Dynamo all day. All right. Let's see. I'm about 15 minutes behind on questions. All right. So we got Mayo Benz heading to Breck for my 30th at the end of March. How crowded does it typically get around then? It depends. So here's the screwed up thing. It depends on when Easter falls. March, you could be hitting it right at the start of spring break. You could be in the middle of it. Or you could hit it in this weird no man's land where there's nothing going on. It's one of those weird things where if it all comes down to what schools have spring break, when Easter falls, and what kind of snow we've gotten. It's like three things that make a recipe for disaster. Or you just hit this weird window where no one is absolutely in there either. But March is our snowiest month. So, yeah. Woo, spin again. Hey, win yourself a medium sticker pack, sir. So, email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I'll get that in the mail to you. Dylan Perry, did you ever test out the Artifact Pro? Is it worth getting over the normal Artifact? I did test it out. Personally, I like the Artifact Pro more. It's just got a little more response to it. Do I think it's necessarily worth the upgrade from the regular Artifact? If you're just looking for a jib stick that's got a little snap, probably not. But if you're looking to hit bigger jumps, something that's a little more well-balanced, then yes, it does make difference. All right. Ison Cow, spin for the stickers. Okay, we're spinning for the stickers. Ooh, don't lick yellow snow. V West, the Rosnell XV is 730 this year. Did they change factories? Same factory. The XV got a complete overhaul this year. It's a completely new board. I actually haven't ridden it. There was only 2 or 3 of them in the United States when I tried to get one, and they wanted to send it to like Backcountry Magazine and shit. Like those people matter. So, yeah. Anyways, that's kind of that. All right, we got Matt Likes Donuts. How does the Shadow Band and Outer Space Living compare? They really don't. The Outer Space Living is a lot softer, like noticeably softer. The real comparison would probably be like if you did Mega Merc and Mercury, it would be Algorithm Shadow Band. And then underneath that, you would have the Outer Space Living and probably more like the Ride Manic. The Manic, or maybe even the Agenda would be close to that. In there, it doesn't. The Outer Space Living is just so much softer than that. All right. Okay, we got Ronan, another live stream, another day towards snow. We're working on it. It's cold. It's been raining the last few days. Ooh, pick a random question and give them a spin. All right. Let's see. Man, I'm trying to catch up on everything here. Okay, we got David Kramer. I can get a 22 Orca for 300, or is it worth getting the Passport Riding Bachelor? Ask yourself if you need a volume shifted board. Riding Bachelor, I would kind of want something that's less volume shifted and a little bit longer, just because you do get that Cascade concrete. You're getting that heavier, wetter snow up there. So while 300 for a 22 Orca is a steal of a deal, if you're on a budget, I say fuck it, just go get it. Save that money, put that towards riding more. Otherwise, yes, I think maybe getting the Passport would make more sense. And you do get a spin, courtesy of the guy before you. Ooh. hey, won yourself some medium stickers there, David Kramer. All you got to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com, and we'll go from there. Man, a lot of people winning mediums today. I'm going to have to rebalance the wheel. Okay. Ooh. Ryan Air, Jones Mind Expander Twin or the Capita Spring Break Powder Twin? I love to surf some snow. Okay, so Spring Break Powder Twin is like two boards in one. If you're coming across a groomer, it's like driving a Cadillac. That thing's just swoopy in that. But when it gets into fresh snow is when it really comes alive. Now, the Mind Expander Twin, you're going to want to downsize because it's a powder twin. Do not downsize on that. That is actually a board you want to upsize on with it. So I do feel that like it's a little, the Mind Expander Twin is a little more buttery in the tips, just with, it's got a slight 3D shaping to it in there and whatnot. Personally, since you say you like to surf snow, you're probably going to slash more. That Mind Expander Twin will also be a little bit softer. I would probably go that route. Ooh, pick a random question to get a spin. Oh, God, I don't even know. Let's see. All right, Johnny Scott. New bindings for my 21-22 Yes Standard. Looking at the Union Force or Strata. I had now Select Pro, but they don't work well with my new boots. So that probably tells me you've got a wider boot and you're going to need to expand the heel cup. I'd go with the Strata personally because you're on the Standard. I think the Force is a turd of a binding. Like, they've hit a point where I'm like, I think the only people buying it were the people that bought Forces the first year they came out when that binding was revolutionary. I would go with the Strata personally. Huff Snow Carney Farts. All right. We got Jeff C with the super chat for all the advice plus a spin to win. Hey, we're spinning. We're spinning. Spin again. Don't lick yellow snow, sir. Okay, we got whatevs 5'6", 155 pounds. And wears brown pants. What size Merc for someone who does a little bit of everything? You're 155 pounds, you're 5'6", a little bit of everything. I think it's a 53 is what it comes in. I think that's the size. Okay. All right, Corey Trevor, Smokes. Corey Trevor, Smokes. Looking for new boots. Had luck in the past fitting Northwave and Burton. Any other brands I should check out? The best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. You need to try on everything, figure out what you're looking for in the boot. A boot recommendation is nothing more than, hey, go try it on. Because at the end of the day, everyone's feet are different. So, yeah. All right. Item 9. Curious if you're an advocate for helmets now after all the concussions you have. I was an advocate for helmets back in 1999, man, when it was uncool, like super uncool to wear helmets. I've been, fuck, dude, I've been wearing helmets for like 20 plus years. I was like, it's the difference between me being a fucking vegetable and what you guys have here. Like, if I hadn't had helmets, I'd probably be a vegetable. What you get here is actually someone with brain damage. Or Ian, did you get my recent email about stickers? Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, Jimmy Lee, what's your take on the now bindings with Skate Tech? I like Skate Tech. It actually makes sense for me. 1 second. I like it. So I got a set of drives here with the 3.0, the Hanger 3.0 in there. But what I really, really, really like about these is how that actually gives you that rocker. It changes the dynamic of how much power you're putting into your toe and heel turns. It gives the board just more power because you're putting it right into that edge. So if you get a board with a lot of carbon, it's going to react. You get more power. But you sacrifice lateral flex. These things are super rigid on the outside. So that's the one thing you got to consider. Do you like lateral flex? I love lateral flex in my bindings. So for me, it's a sacrifice every time I ride them, but I love the way they power. Like, if I was just going to ride them for free ride, all day. Like, they're absolutely amazing. Okay. We got Joe X. With the foot cramping, could it be the bindings being too tight? I noticed riding looser felt better, but I like them to be tight. No new insoles yet. I mean, that can be you're over cramping right on your instep and it's cutting off the blood supply. There's so many reasons why a foot will actually cramp inside of a boot. So pray to the altar of snowboarding. All right. Let's see. We got Timothy Chen, first season, 33 days. Respect. It's like 6 times the average rider gets. That's amazing. All mountain on DOA plus force, thinking to try softer bindings. Do you think the Supermatic is softer? Should I give it a try, or would you recommend it? Oh, fuck no. The Supermatic's rigid, dude. No. If you're coming from a force, that's a literal lateral move. All you're going to gain out of that is ease of entry from the back door on that. Now, you want softer than the force, you should be looking at like a Strata, or you even bump down to an STR from Union. Otherwise, I would look at like a K2 Indy or a lineup, ride C6, C4, Burton Malavita or a Mission. With Rome, it's the Vice, or you could go down to the Slice, which, ugh, that binding's poop. Okay, Jesus Freak. Any family-friendly resorts in Utah you might recommend, or any resorts in Colorado that have night riding that are not outrageous in price? So Colorado only has 3 resorts with night riding. 4, because I think, yeah, because there's Echo. So it's Echo, Keystone, Howelson Hill, Steamboat. Howelson Hill would be family friendly, but you're staying in Steamboat, so the prices are going to be up. Otherwise, Utah's the better bet for night riding. Brighton actually has a night pass, and you can stay in Salt Lake right at the mouth of the canyon. That's going to save you a bunch of money in there. Park City has night riding, but that's Vail owned, so who gives a shit about that? Yeah. Pray to that altar of snowboarding, people. Okay. Jesus, everyone's buying passports this year, it looks like. Atticus Allen, what size would you recommend for 145 pounds on the K2 passport? 151, sir. All right. My knees are cheese. This is not gambling. It's not. It's a chance. Spray skiers, people. All right. Tyler Hypnarowski. Are K2 Lean ATs a good choice for the sashimi? Yeah, if you're looking for something a little more slashy that's going to give you a lot of like lateral play, for sure. Also, I forgot, for anyone that's looking for like a more surfy binding, you should definitely be checking out like the District Pros and stuff and the holograms and whatnot from Solomon with that shadow fit technology as well. So yeah. All right. DJMD, is there a noticeable difference between the Burton Genesis and the Burton Cartels? It's an incremental difference more than anything. That's really where you find it with that. Oh, and we got a PSA from J-Raz. Ski Granby Ranch also does night riding. Not sure if they're doing it this year. Ski Granby Ranch, other side of Winter Park out there. I need to go check that resort out. Okay. Coleman Young, how much downsizing in boots is too much? I wear a 10.5 street shoe and shove my foot into a size 9 Insano, and 75% of the time it's dialed, but sometimes gets numb. Would a 9.5 sacrifice any control? So those boots don't have what's called 1-to-1 sizing. So the only actual difference in the 9 and the 9.5 is the thickness of the stock insole. So it's just raising you up more to manipulate you in there. Realistically, if you're only getting numbness about 25% of the time, ask yourself if it's super, super cold days and where your toe strap, how it comes across the top, and if it's creating a little pinch point on the pinky toe, because I'm going to bet that it starts going numb because it's pushing the pinky toe like this into the other toes. So if you start to look at that, you start to realize that, hey, maybe this isn't there. All right, we're going to end this poll right now. So if you haven't voted, tough shit. Let's see what we got here. 278 votes. Damn, you guys are on it today. All right, so do you need a whale in your life? 39% said no. 24% said man the harpoons. 21% said yes. And 14% are down with War Pig Wednesday. But I got to give credit to LibTech's marketing of the Orcas, plus all those stupid Facebook groups with the fat middle-aged dudes wearing Patagonia shit and riding Orcas on 300 vertical. You guys are really pushing that shit to another level. But no, you don't need an Orca. I mean, there's the right rider for it, and that board does have its place, just like the Golden Orca has its place. I don't think the Apex Orca. I haven't ridden it, but I don't think that really matters. But yeah, so do you need an Orca? No. The answer is no. Okay. Okay, Chu Chang, with the wider than average snowboard craze going on these days, could this pose a problem for riders with smaller than average feet, and would it make turning feel slower and less responsive? It's to an extent, because you have that smaller foot. Yes, you could have a slight delay in the response of the board. But the other thing that you got to realize is if you have a really small foot, you should probably just go ride a women's board because they just have narrower waists. There's so many boards out there on the market. Like I rode 112, 116 boards. That doesn't even scratch the surface of what's fucking out there, you know? So, yeah. So, anyways. All right. So, if you got questions, get them in the chat box. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. No one's won a snowboard, and I got boards everywhere. So, we have a 54 wide bench warmer, a War Pig medium, a Sigma Park Pro 153, a Rosinal After Hours 47, a 59 Mountain Pig, a 56 Tail Gunner, a 50 something Womp Eater, a 53 or 56 Disruptor. I think it's a 53 Signal Disruptor, and a 56 Sierra that we were going to give away. So just, yeah. Fruit Poop Loops, the most overrated snowboard. Skate Banana. Hands down. Fucking Skate Banana. That was always the most overrated snowboard. So back in the day, like the second year that it came out, when I was working at Mountain Sports Outlet, Silverthorne, Vale-owned shop, I mean, I think we ordered something like, the first batch we ordered was 40 of them. The second batch was like 80 or something like that. And it was like shooting fish in a barrel, but everyone would come in and was like, I don't need this for anything, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, it was just like, you just get a fat commission for selling it. It got to the point that it was just like, be like, hey, can I help you? I want a Skate Banana. Here's where we harvest our field of Skate Bananas. It's right next to the field of fucks that I give. See how that is barren? We're sold out. So, yeah. All right. Okay. So, we got Ronan with the super chat. Spin to win. Well, sir, you won yourself a medium sticker pack. All you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I'll get that in the mail. EV, is the Nerd Superposition going to have more sizes in the near future? So there's actually a 51 size coming. It should show up next week, I think, is when tentatively Jordan said that his next shipment, because he had to make a whole new mold for the 51 because you guys bought so many of the 57s and the 60s. So there's a 51. If the 51 sells good, he's adding a 54 to it, to the lineup on there. So yes, there will be more Nerd Superpositions. Jimmy Lee, do you get to keep all the boards you demo, or do you have to send them back? I don't pay for the shipping like they do sometimes. So like some of the stuff like the signal boards and the ride boards that I'm giving away, they told me to just give them away. And like, yeah, I could go sell them and make money, but basically what I do is I just try to give them to you guys, or if I've got friends in the county that are like kind of hurting for gear, I'll just be like, here's a fucking snowboard, and I'll trade it to them. Like, I think I traded a Twin Pig for a cheeseburger to my friend Will because he wouldn't take it for free. So I was like, give me a cheeseburger. So, yeah. Okay. Mitch of Ventura looking for that spin. Well, Mitch, you won yourself a small sticker pack. So all you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I'll get that in the mail. All right, we got Fruit Poop Loops with a super chat. Huff Snow Carney farts. All right. Shane C. Have you seen the Battalion Evil Twin Plus? Is it the same as the boss? It replaces the boss, and so what it is yeah, it replaces the boss, but I've written it. There's a review of it. Do I think that it's honestly worth the price? No. All right, we got Ian Spin Me G. All right, we'll give you a spin. Support the Shred Foundation. Anthony Hawking, Spin for Wiener, Pocket Bacon for all. Spin again. Eat at Joe's Diner in Phoenix, Arizona. We got Iron Tit looking for a good old steel boob. Spin again. Spin again. Jesus. Ollie Slow Signs. All right. Matt K. Got an Endeavor archetype. Have a pair of Malavitas and a pair of Vices already. Would either of those work? Thanks for all you do. I'd put the Vices on over the Malavita. You're going to get a little more power out of your heel side turns with that. And you also don't have to worry about that weird point on the base plate of the Malavita pushing down and cracking the clear coat on the top sheet. So, yeah. Remember to eat at Joe's. All right, we got Piff looking for a spin. Let's go. Subscriber else, people, or else. All right, we got Devin Phillips. Spin it, please. Spray skiers. Okay. Oh, Jesus. You guys are coming in hot. Coming in hot. Let's see. So we got Fruit Poop Loops. So this is why there's more super chats than normal. Super chats are like weird because like it comes and goes in phases. Like some days I'll get nothing or like next to nothing. And then some days you guys are just like on fire. I don't expect it. I don't care for it. Like it's cool. You guys do it. It's awesome. I do want to try to get some more games. So yeah, but we'll see. Ooh, pick a random question and give them a spin. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, we got one here from Coleman Young. Is this the record for the most sticker packs won? No. The it was the Friday the 13th live streamathon event was the was it that one? It was either that or one of the Black Friday ones. But I think the record, like the one time, it might have been the Day of Giving that I did the random one. Actually, that's probably the one that is. It's the random Day of Giving I did. I gave away 4 snowboards and something like 46 sticker packs that day. It was absolutely brutal. Like I spent a whole day just mailing stuff. Don't lick yellow snow. All right, Tim Hunt, spin me. I want a bench warmer. Huh, just because you said you want a bench warmer, you now get the women's board. Spin again. Spin again. You lose. Ouch. Okay. My knees are cheese. Thought I invented pocket bacon 5 years ago. You? Oh, no. Pocket bacon was my boy. Was definitely my boy, Crowbar. And that's like 10 plus years back, man. You'd roll up on him and he'd just take a strip of bacon out and stick it in your mouth and be like, I'm going to go drop in. And you'd just be like, no, that's like. Support the Shred Foundation, people. Remember, Black Friday live streamathon's coming, as well as the second annual Shred Foundation fundraiser. Jeff C with the spin. Spray skiers. Ooh, here's a good one. Super chat from Fruit Poop Loops. K2 excavator versus ride piece seeker. More powder oriented, you go with the excavator. More carving groomers, you go with the piece seeker. The overlap is that yes, the excavator is decent when you get it on a groomer and will be able to carve, and the piece seeker can handle riding trees and riding pow. It just takes a little bit more work. Wiener. Okay. Atticus Allen, any changes to the Nitro Quiver series this year? So they added the dinghy, and then there's like more in the Quiver series stuff. I asked for a bunch of stuff and wasn't able to get it. But I think by and large, like anything that isn't new, they didn't tweak anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of like how Nitro does stuff. All right, sir, you won yourself a small sticker pack. Email me info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I'll get that in the mail to you. All right. Okay, let's see. All right. Well, been here an hour and a half. I'm going to start getting ready to wind down. We got J-Rez, spin me a board and eat more cookies, people. All about the cookies. Ooh, spray skiers. Brian B's, spin for a win. We'll see. Oh, Brian, you won yourself a sticker pack, a jumbo sticker pack. Don't say I never gave anyone anything, especially my exes that claim I gave them HPV. But whatever. All right, we got Jimmy Lee, $1 for the spin, $18.99 for you shredding it forward. I'm always trying to pass it forward. I think I'm going to do an Instagram contest here in the future, like in the next couple of weeks. The other one that I want to do, I was talking with our moderator, Billy Ray Valentine, and this is, of course, it's going to be regional, unfortunately. Instead of where's Waldo, where's Avran, I'm going to give some clues, and the first person that can find me riding the mountain will win a snowboard from me or bindings or something on that. I'm also going to be doing more of those random angry drops, those rad packages. I'm going to be doing that, and then I got some stuff in the works for Black Friday as well. So, oops, spin again. Support that Shred Foundation, people. All right, Fruit Poop Loops with the super chat. I want to hear that wheel clacking. I think that's all we're hearing right now. Well, win yourself a small sticker pack, sir. Sir. Everyone that's winning, I think, knows how to get it now, how to claim it. So, yeah, email me info@snowboarder. Okay, Patrick Einers. Smash the like button, spray skiers. Always spray skiers. It's the best. Well, Pat, you won yourself that small sticker pack. Man, maybe today I'll set the new record. I doubt it, though. So let's see. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, only 12 today. That's not too bad. All right. Let's see. Timothy C. Thanks, Angry. Yeah, well, we'll give you a spin for that super chat, too. Spin again. Huff Snow Carney farts. Jesus freak. For the W and those who enjoy a good flying V. Flying V fucking sucks. Remember to eat at Joe's. Ugh. Rensta 02, spin me two. No, you get one spin. That's a spin. Viva Las Limothy Whitman. Okay. Charlie B, you think Burton will make the Mega Blossom? No, I think Burton will sit around and sniff their farts and choke on their fucking yoga pants. Who the fuck knows what the fuck they're doing over there anymore? Okay, Fritz, due to buy new boots. I've blown through 3 pair of K2 Darkos throughout the years. Last pair is from 2015, size 12. Do you think I can safely buy another pair of Darko or Enders in my size years later? Darko changed. The mold 2019, 2018. The Enders were on a completely different mold. Like it's relative. Like it's going to be a minor tweak. I think you can get away with it, but like I always say, the best boot's the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. Yeah. All right. Fruit Poop Loops. There's no random questions. It's just all super chats. Starting to feel that way. I might have to turn them off. Fuck. You guys are killing me here. Ollie over slow signs. All right, we got Scott Matters. Do you think we're guilty of always buying the board that's above our ability? I know I am. So I've decided to get a Rome Warden and ditch the passport and get back to progressing. I think there's a lot of people that see what I'm like hyping and stuff, and they automatically assume they're like, I'm a good snowboarder. I need the best. And I'm over here like, listen here, motherfucker. I own a fucking Rome Warden and I've been riding for 25 plus years. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, I think there's always that natural bias that you think if you buy the best, you're going to be the best. And I see those people all the time. They're like floundering around. They're struggling. They're always tired because they bought something that's so stiff and above their ability level and whatnot. And I think it would be real humbling for a lot of people to be like, when they go to buy a new board, rather than spending $600-700 on some super high-end board, they go and they buy a mid-level board and they buy an entry-level board, and they take that entry-level board and they find a friend that doesn't snowboard and they give it to them. Or they donate it to a charity or something like that. I think that would better serve them, and they would learn the limitations of a board to better understand when they do go to something more advanced. Like, my favorite boards to ride are usually just like the mid-level boards that people forget about, like the companies don't want to market. Those are my favorite ones to ride. I'm like, oh yeah. It's like, it's trickle-down technology. It's nothing special. It's sitting on the wall at like $489 right now. Those are always my favorite to get on. All right, we got Brandon. Spin me for a board, spray them all. Spin again. Well, you won yourself a medium sticker pack, sir. Making sure you didn't win one before. So get that in the mail to you. The good thing is I just made about 600 new die cuts, so that's good. Fizzle, do you think there'll be any shipping issues from China this season? There already is some shipping issues with China, but anyone with a brain that ran a company knew this, so they upped their production earlier, paid a little bit more to get stuff in. So I know Burton is having issues with boots. Vans is going to go on radio silent to some shops. 32 might still be having some issues, but like K2 Ride have stuff. Rome got a lot of their stuff except their boots in, so it's kind of hit or miss with that. All right, we got 4x4 therapy party board. The Y versus dance hall thoughts. The Y's stiffer. It's going to have more power out of a turn. The dance hall's softer, more playful. I do like the radial side cut on the dance hall better if the snow's soft, but if the snow's icy, then the Y actually grips a little bit better. I also think that with the dance hall, it really hides a freestyle board in like this weird directional shape. Pick a random question and give them a spin. Let's see. Yeah, you're going to go on timeout, sir. Okay. This is a good one from Luke Desanier. What are the best known GP87 brands? So Telos is their factory brand, but they were making some boards for Gentum. They were making United Shapes. They're not anymore. Let's see what else is in there. They make about 48 different boards, but they make Cardiff. It's like they make a lot of like Japanese and Chinese brand stuff that we don't see here, but they've been around the block. They know what they're doing. Eat it, Joe's. Okay. We got stress type 4. Any typical signs to look for that is actually a suboptimal setup? Board binding, boot combo, etc., and not my mediocre riding? So if you've never heard of the boot or binding brand or even the board brand, usually a sign. The other thing is if you're buying a package and you look at it and it's like $300-$400 for board boot and binding, they're either shoving leftover shit in there that just they think kind of matches up, or they purposely built it so that it's cheesy crap and put it in there. But what you really want to be looking for is if they're putting like a super stiff binding on a soft board or vice versa, and then what boot they're putting in there. Because it's up, I mean, the best boot's the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. So if they're just telling you this boot's going to work with it, you don't even know if that boot's going to fit your foot, but now you're locked into that. So, but what you really want to do is try to match the board to the binding to the boot. You want to make sure that the boot fits in the binding and stuff. If you can, go to your local shop or wherever and try on as many boots and, buy it locally, get it fitted, make sure you get an aftermarket footbed, you get it heat molded and stuff. And then from the boot, you buy the binding. And after that, the board's relatively easy to figure out. All right. Well, won yourself a small sticker pack there. So, but yeah. So, okay, what else we got going on here? Okay, Woody, have you done a full shadow ban review yet? I mean, the review itself is done. It's parked. Like, I just have to make it active. Okay, we got a super chat from J-Rez. Slim versus Buckhouse in a cage match. Spin to win. Oh, Slim all day. He's crazy. Ollie, every slow sign. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Chu Cheng, hey, Avran. Would you like to see Nike come back in the snow? No, fuck no, no, no. Their boots were fucking garbage. They fucking made a boot with literal cardboard as the support system in the backspan. They took the Zoom Force and just upped it and made it a boot. It was crap. Their boots were fucking straight trash from a technological standpoint. They're charging $500, $600 for a boot that was like probably costing them $10 to make. It was a fucking hunk of shit, and everyone fucking gobbled it up. All these fucking sneakerhead motherfuckers. Oh, yeah, we need to fucking do it. I mean, they sent me a set of Lunar Endors, and I remember picking them up, looking at them, put them on. I was like, oh, these feel like shit. Looked at my little brother and was like, Marcus, these are yours. And I mean, he works for Nike, so there's that now. Okay. We got All Out Productions. On a Rozzy 1 mag, looking for a Tahoe pow board for number 2. What you recommend? Hovercraft, slush slasher? No, don't get the slush slasher. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. No. Hovercraft. It's going to be better. It's going to push through that Tahoe pow. It's going to do everything you need to do for it. It's super, super solid. So that otherwise, other pow boards I look at, I would even do like a Rosano Sashimi. Let's see. If you're looking at ride, you could do a mountain pig because it's stiffer, or even go down to a super pig. That would be solid. Hell, even a Psycho Candy would be good if you want something a little bit softer in the pow. Otherwise, Libtech Retro Ripper. Let's see. I'm trying to think what other ones I got set. Oh, Rome Ravine Select. The Ravine Select would actually be better because it's got those flex walls and the flex impact plates, so it's going to absorb chatter a lot better in the nose and push through things a lot easier. Fruit Poop Loops. If Burton goes out of business, which brand would take their place as being the face of snowboarding? Gilson. No, honestly, right now, I think it'd be K2 Ride. Okay. Braga, what board am I going to see being carried down the mountain the most in the Walk of Shame? Last season was Mega Merc. Season before, the Super DOA. Probably Black Snowboard of Death if we stick with the Capita theme. But I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people with passports, K2 passports, that shouldn't be riding them. Maybe K2 Antidotes as well. I think that one. Golden Orcas always seem to be a good one too. Okay. Fruit Poop Blues, Pentaquark versus Peace Seeker. Ooh, good super chat question here. Straight up carving, the Peace Seeker is going to beat out the Pentaquark. But the cool thing is the Pentaquark shaping kind of lends itself a little bit more if you do need to ride switch. The one thing that you got to consider about the Pentaquark is it is noticeably stiffer than the Peace Seeker. That, and it's got anti-phase in it. It's going to be a little bit more of a damp ride. It just turns different. They're both exceptionally well turning boards. So you're splitting hairs with each one. Ouch, you lose. Okay, we got Ezekiel Chentnik. Can you recommend something similar to the Arbor Westmark rocker? It's time for a new one, and they aren't making mid-wides this season. 157 mid-wide. Check out the GNU GWO or the Money. You're on the rocker. You might like the Rome Gangplank because I think that comes in a 54 mid-wide. I think. Don't quote me on that. That would be good. The Signal Park rocker, because it's a flat to rocker, they do offer wide shaping in that. That would be one to consider. No, that won't work. I think, well, if you don't mind going to camber, you might like the Niche Crux too. So there's that. Also, give the Nidecker Sensor or Sensor Plus, dealer's choice on that one. That could be something to consider. The Libtech Box Scratcher, because I think that comes in a 57 wide, actually. That would be another one that I would consider. Ooh. Well, Ezekiel, you won yourself a medium sticker pack. All you got to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder, and I'll get that in the mail to you. So, all right. All right, let's see. Four by four therapy. After our season, I'm really hearing what you're saying about middle range boards. Could it be a top 5 idea? I actually just filmed the top 5 best bang for the buck video, and that's literally the boards that are in there. So yes, that's actually done. Okay, Ronnie Elvback. Spin for the spray of all sprays over skiers. Spin again. Subscribe or else, people. All right. Fruit Poop Loops. Rabid Slim versus a Grizzly Bear. Grizzly Bear. Ain't nothing going to take that. Ooh, game over. So close. Almost won a snowboard. Let's see. All right. We got our boy Silas Klug. Spin to take out fat skiers. No, you don't spin to take out fat skiers. That's your job. Your guy's job is to go out and spray them and scare them and tell them they're fat. Subscribe or else. Okay, let's see. Charlie B, thoughts on the Karua Pocket Rocket or other Karua boards? I like Karua boards. I wish I could have got to ride the Pocket Rocket as well as the Nose Rider. I'm hoping my local shop will have a demo of the Pocket Rocket, and I'm going to be able to get out and try that. Okay, Scott Jones. My friend wants to start riding again after 20 years. He was a solid rider back then. Can you recommend a setup for him to go? Free ride focus. He's in good shape, but small, like 120 pounds. Damn, that's a tiny ass dude. So here's what I would do, man. If he's in solid shape, and hopefully it's like riding a bike, and he's doing more free ride. We don't want to break the bank with what we're going to recommend, but there are some boards out there that I think would work for him. So like maybe like a Ride Wildlife, to an extent, the K2 Passport, but I think you could just even put him on a K2 ray gun pop and it would be fine because he's been out for 20 years. The Rome Warden would be another one that you could throw him into. If you did Nidecker, I think you're looking at like an Escape that might work. Or fuck it, you could throw him on a Thruster even, just give him a little more directional shape. If you did Rosinal, I would look at the Revenant. and you can pick up like a last year usually for like 40% off. In terms of bindings, he's not going to need anything too crazy because they've come such a long way. He'll probably be overwhelmed if they have a lot of adjustments on it. So I do like your Rome Vice, maybe like a bent metal action, a Burton Mission, or even you bump up to a Malavita. The Union STR would be another one, or a K2 lineup. All right, so let's see. We got a good question here from Brad Guy. Any sleeper Solomon boards? That new Solomon site that they just did, so they redid their entry level board. It became more like a solid mid-level board. They put some like serious tech into redesigning it, and I'm super shocked at how well that rode. Okay. Jimmy Lee, what do I win if I become the first person to get a video of you shredding? Well, there's actually videos of me shredding, so there. Okay, we got Jesus Freak with the super chat. Have any thoughts on New Mexico resorts? A few are close. Yeah. Venture out of Arizona and go ride them for sure. I think just leaving your home mountain really does it. There's a lot down there that I'd really like to check out. I need to get down to Taos, but I also want to get down to Red River and ride there, go see Reed Weimer and do that. But yeah, they've got a bunch of cool little resorts down there and stuff. They got their own little scene going on. Viva la Slimothy Whitman. Fruit Poop Loops. Everyone on r/snowboarding keeps recommending the DOA. Is it becoming the new Orca? To them, yes, but they're fucking idiots. They're also the same guys that I guarantee you everyone recommending that owns a set of white New Balances and cargo shorts and mows their lawn on a Saturday morning. All right. Ooh, here's a good one from Just Robin with a super chat. Thoughts on the Nidecker Odyssey versus the Psycho Candy? The Odyssey is such an underrated women's powboard. I wish they would make that in bigger sizes so guys could ride it. It's essentially the old Flo Darwin. Like Kevin that used to help me, that's actually his powder board. He rides that, I think, in like a 53 or something like that. Compared to the Psycho Candy, it's more damp. It actually carves better than the Psycho Candy. It's got more power out of the tail. Psycho Candy has got like a little more freestyle flair to it. It's a little easier to butter around, and the pop on it is a little bit different just because of the amount of carbon in there. But yeah, it's the Odyssey is the better board of the two if you're looking at POW, in my opinion. Pray to the altar of snowboarding. Okay. Fruit Poop Loops. Can you get bunions and foot problems from bad fit boots? I don't know. You tell me. Internavicular bone sticking out. Kevin Jones Northwave boots, case to jump. This going on right here, the sixth toe. That's a set of Vans Fargos that didn't do it. Then this on the outside of my foot right here. That broke my foot in a set of Solomon boots. Yeah, that didn't fit right. Yeah, you can end up with serious foot problems. When I tell you people that I have foot problems and the reason I did boot fitting in 101 is because my feet are fucked, my feet are literally fucked. Like I have collapsed arches in each one from snowboarding. So yeah, it can happen. Ollie over every slow sign. James, sad but true. New Balance dads riding the defenders of awesome boards are all pretenders of awesome. That's the best thing I've heard all day. That's fucking amazing. Okay. We got a super chat from our boy, Billy Ray Valentine. RIP L Stacker's Adventure. RIP, rest in peace. I like to touch butts. I got a PS5. Who wants to play FIFA 23? I still have a vasectomy smashed. Like, wow, man, that's like a life story right there. Wiener. All Out Productions. Hovercraft versus sashimi for Tahoe pow days. Hovercraft, if it's a heavy wet pow day, is going to smash through that snow better. It's going to grip when it firms up just a little bit better right underfoot, just with the way their edge is. The sashimi is fairly close to it because it does have that serrated edge like magnet traction, but it's softer in the nose. So when you hit something, it's going to fold back on you, and that's going to cause all that energy to ripple into the front foot. Okay. Curtis 500. Still love riding my old Flow Solitude 64 wide. What's just like it today? So, all right. So realistically, you're probably looking at like Solitude. LibTech TRS kind of rides like it. The Rosinal Juggernaut as well fits in there to an extent. Even the Resurgence from Rosinal would be close to it. Rome Ravine Select, although I think it would be a little softer. It'll ride like how it was when it was a little more broken in. If you're looking at Nidecker, you probably need to go up to like a Megalight or an Ultralight to get anything close in performance to it. So yeah. All right. Oh yeah, I guess I should sign up for Only Feets too, because I just showed you guys all my feet. Okay, Eric Chen with the super chat. East Coast replacing a 21 Capita Thunder size 10, 235 pounds, mostly riding with kids and wife and mistress. Sometimes bombing down groomers. K2 passport and size. Any other thanks? You might actually, because you're coming off a Thunder, you might appreciate the Alchemist more than the Passport. I think you're the type of guy, you've got the weight for it, and I think you'd want something with that size 10, probably in like a 62. 59 would be the smallest to go just because you're with your kids and wife. But the Alchemist, no, if you're looking for something softer, then yes, the Passport is the logical choice. I would go with that. I think, was it 59, 60, 61, somewhere in there. That would be the size. Another option for you, maybe a Jones Aviator, but I think just even a regular flagship would give you a little more play and make it a little easier to ride with the wife and kids. Oof, you lose. All right. Okay. Anyways, we're going to try to wind this down right now because I've been here 2 hours and I want to go eat some food. So okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Super Motar. It's ridden the GNU 4x4. Yes, I have. It's actually a really good board. I got to schedule the review for that. For what it was like I rode it on, I think it was like a 10-inch powder day. It was super good, super poppy. And I was just like having a lot of fun smashing like pow on the backside of A Basin with it. So, yeah. Okay. Fruit Poop Loops with the super chat. Spin for our Lord and Savior, Slimothy Whitman. All hail Slimothy. Pray to the altar of snowboarding. All right. Adam Lowe, got a skunk ape. Second session snowboarding. Any tips on how to ride this beast? More weight forward on your front foot than you think. That's the big thing. A lot of people don't realize that, but you want to keep your weight a little more forward when you go into the turn. And then when you're starting to transition back on it, then you slowly move your weight and drive it from inside the front foot and engage it from there through the middle of it. But other than that, haul ass, take chances, spray skiers, ollie slow signs. Viva la Slimothy Whitman. All right. Let's see. I'm going to finish up like 2 more questions and we're done. No, any super chat that comes in doesn't get a spin. Okay, Bao Tang, getting Warpig this season with intention of free ride and semi-bombing lines. Would like to pair with ride binding suggestions. Currently ride a dance hall with districts. Ride 8-9 series, too big of a jump. If you're looking to bomb lines and freeride, you should get the Super Pig or the Mountain Pig over the War Pig. You're going to be really sad if you're trying to keep speed with that. Anyways, the matchup for any of those, I'd go with the 8 or 9 series. It's kind of dealer's choice on that. All right, Roger Mock, currently on a GNU spam, looking for something that charges a little harder and doesn't get bucked around as much in the chunder. Any recs? Oh, I got recommendations for you all day long. So since you've been on that spam, might be time to go up to like the GNU 4x4, Libtech E-Jackknife, the Rome Ravine Select, the Rosinal Resurgence, even a Revenant if you wanted to, but I think the Resurgence is the better option for you. If you're looking at ride, maybe a Mountain Pig or a Berserker. Capita Black Snowboard of Death really sticks out as one that I think would really match up with that, and that should give you more than enough options. So, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. And thanks for that super chat, Baotang. I'll give you the last spin of the day. Subscribe or else. Anyways, guys, it's been fun for the last 2 hours, but I got stuff I got to do. So if you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos. If you want to support me further and just see me do some cool stuff, there's always Angry Snowboarder VIP. The link's in the description. I got an old video that explains I'm working on redoing that. Remember, you got a review tomorrow. You got a review every day pretty much till the end of the year. Explain videos on Mondays. Usually you get a Wednesday top 5. Unfortunately, I had some camera issues this week, but I got it fixed. As always, guys, I'll see you in another video.